Episode 39 of my Blackburn Rovers FM 17 series. So, who remembers the last episode where I said our next 3 games were almost 9 points guaranteed? Yeah, well, this happened. Obviously, the last episode was a 6-0 loss against Arsenal. I think it's safe to say we've collapsed yet again in the second half of the season. Nabil Gillas's injury, something I really wasn't expecting, has hurt us really badly. Our Premier League form has been dreadful ever since post-Christmas, basically. We started off okay, beating Fulham 4-0, then Watford 1-0, but you can see these results here. I don't know what to say. I can handle losing against United, Tottenham, Liverpool and Arsenal, but some results there, Villa, West Ham, you know what I mean? And I've got to put my finger on a lack of goals scored. Now, in terms of your West Broms and your Sheffield Wednesdays, again, not only were we conceding sloppy goals, really goals that we shouldn't be conceding. Hull was really frustrating because Kajura came on. We were 1-0 down pretty much all the game. Varela made it 1-1. Kajura, with one of his iconic long shots from outside the box, made it 2-1. And then we had basically 3-5 minutes or so with added time to hold on and get a 2-1 lead. And then Abel Hernandez scored as a result of this shambles of a goal. And it basically sums up the types of goals we're conceding right now. We're working on defensive positioning in training. I even tried to change it round a little bit in training. But it does seem that our true ability has eventually started to kick in. Now, fortunately for us, it's kicked in after an incredibly good first half of the season, which really kind of means that we are still going to finish in the top half. But you can see how dreadful that was. I think it was Danny Bath came out to try and win that ball in the air. We just ended up conceding a sloppy goal like that. Otherwise, it would have really been 3 points. So instead of 9 points from 3 games, we've ended up with 3 points from 3 games, 3 from a potential 9 points, and really it's not good enough. It's left us in a poor situation. As you can see, we played 34, which means that Man City, West Ham, and basically anyone from 11th upwards can catch up with us now. In terms of Stoke, they've got 2 games in hand over us and 1 point more than us. And you can see our goal difference has finally become negative, and you'd expect that to happen 3-0. 5-0, 4-0, 6-0, which is quite a contrast to what we were like in the first half of the season. But even though I said last episode that we're not going to make any drastic changes, I've kind of decided that it's probably after these 3 really poor results, time to make some drastic changes and start trying to implement the way of playing football that I'm planning on changing to next season. So just a real quick look at what we're doing. It is going to be strikerless. I've mentioned before what I feel about strikerless formations, that I don't like them. But without a shadow of a doubt, it works incredibly well this year on Football Manager. And at the same time, the type of pressing game I want to play, where the front 3 contribute pressing-wise as well, that can only really be achieved, which I've discussed in my tactic videos, with shadow strikers or with 3 attacking midfielders, because the way the match engine works, even if you set a defensive forward, they just will not fall back and help out defensively. And I was watching Arsenal play Man City today, and as soon as Giroud came on for Arsenal, you could see how involved he was getting defensively. His positioning, he wasn't constantly, in line with the opposition back 4. He was coming back, joining the midfield, joining in, helping to press, getting a lot of men behind the ball. And of course, the more men you get behind the ball, the higher probability that you'll win that ball back. And it's just impossible to achieve that, I've found, on the match engine without having to resort to a strikerless approach. So this is going to be our approach. going forwards. Now, I'm not going to go into too many details about it. The counter mentality should give you a bit of a hint as to how we're going to be playing. It's how I like my football teams to play. I normally like overlapping wing backs, but I've found the match engine likes inverted wing backs, and they'll help supplement us as well when these guys pull wide too. And there's quite a lot of roaming involved as well, so it's always important to try and keep the middle of the park packed. This will be used next season. It's something I believe in. It's something I think we need to crack on with, and we'll discuss the nitty-gritty and details of things next season, because to be honest, not that much of this season is really left. But the all-important game at Wembley, FA Cup semi-final. Yes, it's gone pear-shaped for us in the Premier League. One thing that probably didn't help us was a lot of FA Cup games, our EFL Cup games, which, you know, we had one eye on constantly. We are now EFL Cup champions and we've guaranteed a Europa League qualification spot. But let's forget about the Premier League. We've got a top half finish almost guaranteed. Let's focus on the FA Cup semi-final. Let's see if we can finally beat Liverpool, because they are one of my bogey teams, and see what happens. So on that note, the last time we were at Wembley, we won just about on penalties. So let's see if we can do it now. Welcome to Wembley, where we are more than likely going to lose against our bogey team, Liverpool, in this FA Cup semi-final. So here we go. Corner, Rog shoots, McLean scores. 7 minutes in, we're 1-0 up. But regardless, tighten up, you know, try and keep them switched on. Because in recent weeks, honestly, our centre-backs have been dreadful. I'm not really quite sure what we can do about it, but it's a good goal nonetheless. Rog did well. What's funny is that Rog shot and then it hit Tiote on the bottom. Otherwise, it was going in. It would have been Rog's goal. But, yeah, I mean, just that deflection there, if we hadn't scored, it would probably just sum up what the last few weeks have been like, in all honesty. And that's it. It's offside, right? But where's the hunger? You know what I mean? Where's the aggression from our bloody centre-backs? Wanting to win that in the air. Another corner, though. Demi-bite to the back post to Dumic. How's that not gone in? At least we look deadly from set pieces. You know, that's a positive for once. Kerem to Rog. Finds Andre out on the right-hand side. Not quite sure. I can see what he was thinking of doing with that direct ball. Not really what I've instructed him to do, but talking about direct balls, that's well done by Fabio. Fabio, I'm not even joking. Fabio's better in the air than most of our centre-backs have been this second half of the season. Nano shoots, Nano scores. 2-0 at Wembley. Great goal from Nano. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to go... Whoops, hello. Okay, so, yeah, sorry, forgot there's a highlight. That was nice. Kerem Demirbay, he fits... Well, so far, this is the first time that I actually play my next season system with this team. This is actually a system that I've been testing out with Real Madrid and other teams. And as you can probably tell from the name of the tactic, Zizou, it's not meant to emulate Zinedine Zidane's Real Madrid. It began as trying to emulate Zinedine Zidane's Real Madrid and kind of grew legs. And yeah, that's really what's happened. And we'll go into more detail about the tactic next season. But so far, so good. You know, it's not really done too poorly for us. Augustinsson to Danny Bath, who hoofs the ball forward to Nano, who wins the ball in the air. Again, Nano's been better in the air than our centre-backs have been this second half of the season, and he's made it 3. Cheers for that, Sacco. That's nice, isn't it? 2 goals for Nano, and, well, we're making a complete fool out of Liverpool here. It's a shame we didn't play like this against them in the season, but surely we can't throw away a 3-0 lead now. What a signing Nano's been, you know, guys. I remember we were actually going to sign the Argentinian from Boca Juniors, if you remember that far back. And we couldn't bring that Argentinian in because we couldn't get a work permit for him. So Nano was actually our fallback player. And the only reason we signed Nano was to be backup for Andre Gray because his attributes were incredibly familiar to Andre Gray. It'd be nice if our centre-back got to this, which he just about has done. Good ball, that, actually, from Dumic. Nice for a change. McLean picks it up, finds Nano, who's surely going to let loose on Andre Gray. Fabio now cuts inside, which is very different to what he's been doing most of the season for us. Karen picks it up, thanks to a Henderson tackle. Tiote looks to play make. Nano looks to Rog. Rog, oh, he tried to thread that ball through. But what can our centre-backs do here? Danny Bath, being Danny Bath, heads the ball right back to the opposition. Coutinho plays it to Henderson. And Sadio Mane should have scored there, but it's a good save from Steele, who we may let go of in the summer. I'm not entirely sure just yet. But forget about the summer. Yeah, we're 3-0 up at Wembley against Liverpool. But as you can see, they are knocking on the door. We've got to make sure we stay awake. It could be a half-decent idea to maybe bring on some fresh legs. So for that reason, Nano's going to go out on the right. Danny Graham, who is another player who might leave us in the summer, is going to go in the middle. And Varela is going to replace Fabio out on the right-hand side defensively. I mean, you may have caught glimpses of what this system has to offer based off of what we've seen so far. You can see it plays quite a short, intricate passing game. It takes advantage into runs from midfield quite a lot and looks to pass into space quite a lot. Wow, wonderful back pass there from Nano. Rog really either should have pulled that back or finished, but it's yet another clear-cut chance, and it really does take advantage of teams like Liverpool that, you know, leave a lot of space behind their defensive line. One area, now this is something interesting actually, it's going to go out to viewers. You think about Football Manager over the years, there always used to be, you know, that killer corner tactic, that killer free kick, that killer throw-in. Corners have completely baffled me so far this season. And on another note, we've just beat our bogey team Liverpool 3-0 in the FA Cup semi-final. It's going to be Manchester United. Now, I think we did very well to go 3 goals up, quite fortunate as well, but we carved out the clear-cut chances. Big thumbs up to Nano, worked very hard to grab a brace, as well as our central midfielders who got the assists. And then we went defensive, shut up shop, and it's done a heck of a load of good chisel for our morale. So, well done, lads. But yeah, I've really struggled with corners this season. Not struggled defensively by defending them, but offensively. And I don't like corner exploits, but to be honest, I was kind of hoping we'd start scoring more corners by bringing in Danny Bath, by bringing in better centre-backs, by bringing in Karam Demirbay, you know, who's a really good dead ball specialist. But it just seems like whatever I do, I can't score any corners. So if you can score corners, let me know, because I'd like to maybe add that to our ammunition. I'm not asking for something that breaks the game, but if anyone has any tips for corners this year, let me know. I'm baffled because you try near post corners and it just always goes straight to the first defender. You try far post corners and it just seems to go over everyone's head. You put it towards the penalty box and you get a goal every, I don't know, season from a corner. That's it. I'd really like more. But yeah, on another note, we've just bloody beat Liverpool 3-0. How good was that? Nano with 2. Received 955k, which is nice. £955,000, of course. And, oh, okay, so Arsenal, Man United haven't actually played yet. Do we have a second leg? No, we won't have a second leg, will we? Yeah, that's it. We're through to the FA Cup final, and we're going to be up against either Arsenal or Man United. Now, I've already beat Man United once this season, but in a way, I'm looking forward to playing either of them. As far as I'm concerned, the Premier League can go do one. We've already guaranteed Europa League qualification. I want this FA Cup. Now that you're in the final, you can't really pass up an opportunity like that. Grab the FA Cup. And most importantly, beat Arsenal or Man United. Man United beat us 5-0. Arsenal recently beat us 6-0. We've beat one of our bogey teams with our new approach to the game. Question is, can we do it to either Arsenal or Man United? And on that note, that is it for this episode. So the next episode will be Man City away. That'll be in the next episode, which I just said it will be in the next episode. Why am I repeating myself? I could have done a double episode thingamabob, but as you guys know, I like to change it around a little bit. But yeah, let me know if you got any tips, any players you'd like to see us sign in the summer as far as finances are concerned. Now, we've made a loss of 41 million quid. I believe that's so far this season. But overall balance is pretty healthy. 24 million when you consider Premier League money coming back in next season, when you consider Europa League money coming in next season. Even though it looks bad, it really isn't at all, and it will just zoom up come next season. We got given 46 million to spend this summer, and we've still got 15 million of it left. So I'd like to think that we'll end up with at least 50, 60 million to spend in the summer. In terms of players I'm thinking of bringing in, let me know the types of players I'm looking for. I'm really looking for, I guess midfielders that can do it all. Very similar to a previous approach. Your Toni Kroos, Modric type players, half decent at defending, very good going forward, technically gifted. Even though you can argue we've got that in Kerem Demirbay and Rog, but of course Kadura isn't getting any younger. I might look to finally sell Augustinsson simply because, for me, he's just not been good enough defensively, and he always seems to get unsettled every transfer window by teams like Monaco and stuff coming in, and I just can't be bothered with it. Probably looking to sign another centre-half, because Mulgrew will more than likely be leaving us as well. And yeah, we could do with another really good kind of striker type of player who's good technically and has a bit of pace as well. I wouldn't say Ronaldo-esque or Bale-esque, but just that kind of world-class player, you know what I mean, who would actually join us for Europa League football. I guess it's tough to get world-class players who'll agree to play Europa League football, but you get what I mean. But yes, so on that note, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and see you next time.